y'all, welcome back. Today we're going to make two cards that are perfect for the fall season. We're going to start with Cottage. This is from scrapbook.com. We're also going to use a little Sweet Boo from scrapbook.com. And for the panel pieces, we're going to use a little bit of boho and a little bit of Daybreak. I've got a few Ohu markers that I picked out. I've got my tape, Memento, Barely Art glue. I've got a few stamp and die sets. This one is Alphabets. It's from scrapbook.com. I also have an embossing folder. You can see that. This one is from Honeybee Stamps. It's called Fall Forest. I'll also be using a stamp and die set from Spellbinders. This is Harvest Blessing. And of course, we have our Misty. We're going to be using the Recollections cardstock. This is 110 pound. I get this from Michael's, only when it's on sale. So today we're going to be making an A2 size card and a 5x7. The first one will be the A2. So what I like to do is put your paper in your 8.5 by 11 sheet, put it at the 8.5 inch side on top, score it at 4 1/4. Then you'll take your paper trimmer, you'll put it in on the 11 inch side, and you will cut it at 5 1/2. Now you have two card bases, A2 size. You'll fold this over till it's flush. You'll take your bone folder and you'll just press it down. Make a nice crease. That's all there is to it. So on the first card we're making, our first panel will need to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. We're going to pick out our first base panel. Let's flip through here and see which colors we like for our fall card. I think we're going to try this one. You can use your Barely Art glue, you can use double-sided tape runner, whichever is fine. They both work great. Give that a nice press. If you do use glue, I just put it on my desk, put something on top of it, let it dry so that it will dry flat. Okay, so for our next layer, we are going to need two pieces that are 1 7/8 by 5. So we'll cut this at 5, 1 7/8. So now you have your two pieces at 1 7/8 by 5. You'll cut them in half. So you'll have a total of 4 pieces at 2 1/2. So for our next layer, I think I'm going to use the Sweet Boo collection from scrapbook.com, and I'm going to choose this one. This layer will be 2 1/4 by 1 5/8. We're going to do 2 more layers and then our card will be ready for assembly. So I went into my scrap bin again and I have more black cardstock. This is just 65 pound weight and it's just scraps. So it's perfect to use for this. This layer will be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And you only need one of these. Okay. So we're going to use some more of this pattern, and it is going to be 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Alright, so let's get to assembling. Alright, our card panel should be very good and dry by now. Nice and flat. We're going to take our 4 base pieces in the black cardstock. Let me set this to the side. I'm going to use tape runner. We're going to put our pattern paper over the top. Of each one of them. Alright, now that we have those, we are going to attach them to our card base. For this, I'm going to use liquid glue just so I'll have a little float time, just in case it's not aligned like I want it. And then dry fit the other ones. And then we'll glue this one on. It just takes a little bit of glue. On the camera it looks like it's a lot of glue coming out, but it's not. Just a little bit. Try to get this one lined up nicely. Press it down. And then you'll attach your other two. Next we're going to get our sentiment out and we're going to stamp it on the Misty. Get it cut out on the die machine. Let's get that started. So I think for this one I'm going to use "You Are Such a Blessing." That's a beautiful saying. So you'll just lay your stamp down. You want the smooth side facing up so it will attach to the door of your Misty. Press that down. Now you see it's attached. We're going to ink that up with some Memento. This is Tuxedo Black. You'll close the door. Press it down. I think I'm going to press it one more time. Make sure my paper is still good and aligned. That's beautiful. So you'll just line up your die cut with what you stamped out, and you can use pixie tape or washi tape, whatever you have on hand. They both work great. And we'll take this. I'm using the Gemini 2. So you'll have your bottom plate, your cutting plate, then you'll put down your paper with your die cut attached, your top plate, and you'll run it through the machine. And then when it comes out of the machine, it'll be all ready. And I think for this one, I'm also going to do a little coloring. So let's get one more stamp out. And I think I'm going to use the leaves and the little acorns. I think that would be cute. So let's get that stamped and colored, and I'll be right back. Just add a little bit of glue to the back of this. You could even pop it up if you wanted to on a pop-up dot. So we're going to do a little bit of surgery here. We're just going to go in and gently lift this up just a little bit so we can tuck this in. I think that would be super cute. Alright, so let's glue this down. And let's finish it off with a few dots. These already have adhesive on them, but I like to add just a little bit more glue, just in case. So I'll just put these down where I think I'm going to want them, and then I'll adjust them and add glue. And just that fast, our card is done. Alright, let's move on to card number 2. Okay, so for the next card, this one is going to be 5x7. Again, we're going to use our Recollections cardstock. 110 pound. Put it into our paper trimmer on the 11-inch side, and we'll cut it at 10. We'll turn it and we'll cut it at 7. We'll get our scoreboard out. We'll put it in at the 10-inch side, and we're going to score it at 5. And if you ever have difficulty folding and scoring your cards, you can use your scoreboard. Just push your paper up to the edge, then you'll fold it over, and that way you'll know it's even. And then you'll just flatten it down with your bone folder, get a nice crease, and there is your 5x7. Alright, let's get started. So for the 5x7 card, we're going to use the boho. This is smooth cardstock by scrapbook.com. And I think we're going to use this color. We're going to emboss it. So you'll take your embossing folder. This one is Fall Forest from Honeybee Stamps. So you'll open it up, you'll put your paper inside, close your folder, and then run it through your die cut machine. When it comes out of your machine, you'll see it's beautifully embossed. See all that dimension? It's gorgeous. Alright, so we're going to trim this up for our 5x7 card. So then you'll just get your paper trimmer, and we will trim it up to 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. And that will fit just perfectly. Alright, let's move on. So next we're going to need strips. We're going to use the Cottage Pattern Collection, and we're going to need a background strip and a base strip. So let's flip through here and see which one pops out at us. I think I like this one. So we'll use this and this for the base. Okay, so you're going to cut 4 strips of your solid paper at 1 5/8 by 3 inches. So this is already 3 inches. We're going to cut 4 strips at 1 5/8. And now you want to take your pattern paper, also 3 inches. That looks good. And we're going to do the pattern paper at 1 1/2. So 4 strips. So next we're going to cut out our alphabet letters, and we are going to spell the word fall. So we have those cut out. I think it would be cute if we did a white background, so let me cut those out and see what they look like. Alright, I got those cut out. Let's start assembling this card. So we'll go ahead and attach the panel. So we're going to attach the pattern paper to the top of the solid paper. And we've cut it so that it lines up perfectly on the edges, but has just a slight hangover of the solid on the sides. Alright, next we're going to try to offset these letters. I'm not sure if it'll work. Let's just try it and see. Turned out better than I thought it would. I think it's super cute. Now we're just going to attach each letter to each panel. And then we'll glue it down. And there you have it, a beautiful fall card.